What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Let There Fly YouTube channel. So before today's video begins, I would like to thank you guys. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to us that is a lot because we started from nothing and had no way of building kind of subscribers besides just putting videos out there that we thought you guys might like. And well, a little over 1,000 of you guys must like what you see because you guys subscribe to us. So we want to thank you guys, and hope you guys stick around. The next goal is gonna be 10,000 subscribers if we can get there by hopefully by the end of the year. If we're gonna try for it. I mean, might not hit that, but you know, it doesn't hurt to set big goals and everything, because why not? Today we are gonna be having some fun with my girlfriend's 2014 Yamaha Grizzly 450 EPS. So this guy, as you can see here, you might have seen it before because this quad actually came with this exhaust on it. But yeah, I said I did not like that exhaust because it's way too loud. So obviously HMF actually sells a quiet core for their exhaust. So this is their Performance Series, and we're going to be putting the QS system in it. But first I want to give you guys a sound clip with this thing, as well as some sound clips of the stock exhaust here that I got for a super cheap deal. That's why I ended up just putting it back on. And then we're also going to be jetting up the quad, because obviously anytime you add an exhaust to something, we gotta jet it up. So today we're gonna be doing that, and yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. So right now I'm just gonna tear off the seat, get the side off over here. I think the other side's gotta come off too, because the carburetor on this guy is a little bit of a pain in the butt. I'll show you guys how I do that, and we'll jet her up. Alrighty folks, sorry about the terrible lighting. It is kind of really sunny out here, so it's making the GoPro kind of do weird things, but it's taking the side panels off right now. Now, one thing I remember that was a bunch of fun. Yeah, how did I get into that bolt? There it is. Alright, so we got two bolts under here. I will tell you what size they are in a second, but those guys have to loosen up and the whole exhaust clamp loosens. And then we have, I believe it is, yes, two bolts up here that we have to take out, and then the whole exhaust will come out. I'm actually going to do that at first just to make a little bit of room to get into the good old carburetor back there, because this thing is a little bit of a tight squeeze to get out of there. It's actually got to come out the other side to make things easier, but you have to get in over here to get the throttle cable out. So I'll show you guys how to do all that. Alright, so kind of forgot, I don't think these are the stock bolts in here because they didn't have exhaust bolts when I got this exhaust, and they're different than the HMF. And so for me it's a 1/2 inch, but for you guys, gotta have to figure out your own size. Alright, so same thing for these guys. I don't think these are the stock bolts. I think I had to come up with something to make it work. For me it looks like it's going to be a 9/16. Look at that. Alright, so I'm just getting the exhaust off first. I'll probably put the new one on. Well, not the new one, but new to you guys. You can see she's shaking a little bit already. There's one. Now I am sure this is going to be a gazillion degrees because I just went flying down the driveway with it. So I'm sure it's going to probably burn my fingers, you know, all that fun stuff. No biggie. Nothing we can't handle. Alright, so last time I did this, I remember, I think it was this exhaust, trying to get it in there was a blast of a time. So now we're going to see how this goes to get off. Alright, so it came off easily down there. Remember last time I had to do the hokey pokey to get this thing out. Ooh, a little toasty here. What do I do here? I could always just fire it up and chain it to a tree. Now, just go for it. Come on out there, buddy. It's a little toasty. Coming out. There we go. Oop, the camera's in the way. There it is. Sorry, guys. Look at that. Got it. Alright, to get the, to you guys probably new exhaust in, it goes a lot smoother than taking the old one out. I will tell you that, because I've done it before. Maybe not. Oh, there it goes. It hits the air box, that's the hard part. And then gotta get the angles right and then slide her onto the pipe here. So you can see, just has to slide on right there. So I had to come forward a little bit until we have the holes match up in the back here. And there you go, that's basically it. Doesn't slide under kind of completely all the way, but let's see if I can get like another 1/2 inch out of it. So got this clamp tightened up. Like I said, it doesn't slide quite on all the way, but there's plenty there. So once you clamp it down, it's fine. And then these were 9/16 bolts. Again, I got these with the exhaust, so I don't know if that's what comes from HMF. But you can see she's snug on there. Now, I don't have it jetted up yet, so I'm just gonna start it up so you guys can hear. Yeah, just a bit louder. Just a bit. Yeah, she still needs some jetting, but yeah, it's gonna be loud. But like I said, we're gonna be putting the Quiet Core in because where we ride is can't have too loud of exhausts. So I want this way. Basically, my girlfriend can she can have some nice noise when we go to big parks and everything like that. But then when we're riding our local trails, I think it'll be nice and hopefully quiet. We're gonna test it out and see how loud or bad it is with the Quiet Core. So only one way to find out. Let's pull the carburetor out now and have some fun with that. All right, so the carburetor in this guy. Not a fun time to get out, not gonna lie, I've done it before. Fuel goes off, goes in the horizontal position. It's most quads, I think. Then we're gonna take the fuel line off. Usually I have a bolt the size of whatever the fuel line is, so I can stop the fuel from flowing. And then we're gonna take out the choke cable, which is, sorry, I cannot get in there with the freaking camera, but it's this guy right here. That's the choke cable. Like I said, here's the fuel line. And then on the other side, we had to take out 3 screws. We got the throttle cable we got to pull out. And then I think last time I might have popped out the air box. Not sure. Hopefully not. I think it was a heck of a time. So hopefully we don't have to do that. All right, so I'm trying to hold you guys the best I can here while I work. But got to remove this plate here. We have 3 screws we have to get out. I've dropped them before. Sucks. I had to order all new screws and a new O-ring. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. So we're gonna pop this guy out, then we can pop the other stuff off and get the carburetor hopefully out of here without too much of a hassle. So see if I can do this while holding you guys. So the reason you want to jet up an exhaust after you put an exhaust on, well, you should be doing it at the same time. Same thing if you have fuel injection, you got to get a tune. But the reason you want to do that is because you're going to lean everything out, because you're going to be flowing more air throughout the engine and everything with an exhaust, which is why you make more power. More air, more fuel, and there goes the screw. Luckily it went on the ground, I believe. All right, now the easiest way I found to do the next part is, let's see if I can get you guys in here. There we go. Last time I believe I hit the throttle like this, then release it, and then you can pull this guy out. Actually, no, sorry, that's a lie. There we go. Press up on it, pull out on this. I'm gonna have to get a small screwdriver. Bear with me a minute. All right, got myself a little flat tip that's got like freaking epoxy or something on it. I have no idea. Yeah, last time I basically just opened the throttle blades by hand. It loosens up the cable enough to where you can kind of pry out on the cable a little bit. You don't want to destroy your cable because you don't want to have to replace it. All right, there it comes. It's starting to come out here. Don't want to lose this little gold or brass piece here. Ooh, I almost just did. Alright, it slides off the cable. There's a little guy right there. Said don't want to lose that. That'd be crappy because then you can't drive your quad afterwards. And screwed the cable from here and pulled it through. You don't want to mess with that too much because you don't want to mess up your setting. Although it is not very hard to set the throttle cable length. Couldn't remember what I did. There we go. Now this guy should pull right through. Now you don't have to take them all the way out technically, the carburetors, but I like to make it easier. Alright, now on to the next side. Alright, for this next deal, you're going to want to stuff some rags under here. You can actually pop, before we do that, we'll take this is the oil adjuster. Usually you can just pop those out like that. Get that out of our way for now. stuff some rags underneath because we're going to be taking off the fuel line. So it's going to be a little bit of gas that comes out of there. Yep, here she comes. Yummy, smelly, goody, all that fun stuff. Try not to drip too much on your engine because obvious reasons you don't want shit to blow up. I believe this is just a vacuum line right there. I believe that's all that is for probably the fuel pump, I'm gonna guess, because that's how a lot of these work is off of vacuum. And then we just have to get a pair of needle nose. Oops. Yeah, that's tight. All right, yep, let me get a pair of needle nose. Usually those are just kind of hand tight in. And we just gotta get the choke cable out and then loosen up the 2 clamps here for the carburetor and should be able to slide it out. What I might try doing though, since it's already in the quad, is I might just try to rotate the carburetor and change the jet in here, because that would probably be easier not only for me but for you guys also. So we're gonna give that a try right now. Dang, she smells like gas. All right, yeah, so I was able to get on here with a pair of needle nose onto the little nut deal. I don't know if you can see that back in there, probably not. I apologize again about the lighting because it's kind of crappy. It's super bright out and also super shady. So when I get this off, it's a little hard to do with one hand. So let me just go ahead and get that guy. All right, so looks like it's around a, what is that, 3 millimeter Allen key to get that guy out. Oh, I just realized I'm an idiot. That's not a vacuum line, that's a vent line. Oops, I'm sure the comments are gonna be like, oh, you friggin' idiot, what are you saying? You don't know what you're talking about. Clearly I don't. Clearly I don't, and you'd be right. Okay, so right now we're just gonna get these freaking paper towels out of our way here. I'm gonna take the vent line and pull up and through just to kind of keep from disconnecting it, because they are fun to get back on sometimes. This is actually the overflow line. Again, I'm doing good with my knowledge here. Like I said, we're gonna see if I can get the carburetor to rotate enough to where we can get into it. It doesn't look like it wants to play nicely here for whatever reason. Where's it getting caught on? Oh, maybe I just have to loosen it up somewhere. Apologize if this angle is terrible. Trying to do this in film is a fun time. It's fun enough on its own. All right, so managed to rotate the carburetor enough to where it looks like I can get on all the screws for the bowl. Now we're gonna get the screws out and that'll expose the jet. All right, got the bowl off. Now, one thing I will say is, one thing you don't want to lose, which looks like it's held by a screw, it's right there, is the, basically like the little shaft that holds on the actual float here. Sorry, my hand's in the way. But here's the jet we're actually going to be changing out. It's right there, under there. And then this has already been also a little bit jetted up everywhere else, so I'm not going to do some stuff, but always follow instructions. HMF actually did include, kit came with a jet kit and everything, so it told us how to jet it. So I'm just going to throw it back to the old jetting, and should make her a lot richer, and we're going to have more air, more fuel, which equals more bang, which equals more, hopefully, power. We're going to find out. All right, so I ended up going with a 140 jet. That's what HMF recommends on this guy. Like I said, I think the jet kit comes with the some of the other jets in there as well, but I believe they're already in there, because the only thing I changed out when I went back to stock was the main jet. I wanted to stay rich everywhere else because these are a little lean out of the factory. So stepped it up, and this does have a K&N air filter in it too. Love them or hate them, it works. So right now we just gotta put the bowl back on, re-rotate the carburetor, and then reassemble everything and take her for a rip. All right, everybody, so got the carburetor back all together and everything. I think it's fun to work on in there. That's why I didn't film putting it back together, because it's basically just a reverse process of everything. But it's checking for leaks now, so that's why I left the sides off. But definitely, this is a touch louder. Yeah, she's loud. Hoping the Quiet Core definitely quiets this thing down a little bit, so this way it's more usable around our area. Like I said, the Quiet Core will come out when we go to big parks and everything, because yeah, who wants to hear this thing scream? I do. So unfortunately where we live, we have to kind of try to keep it down. So I'm really hoping the Quiet Core works. Worst case scenario, takes me about half hour, 45 minutes to swap everything out. I could always put it back to stock for riding around here, put the exhaust on when we go to the parks. So right now, I'm just gonna get the sides back on, get the seat back on, get some sound clips for you guys. right, so that is going to be a wrap for today's video. I hope this helps you guys out if you're looking into a exhaust for the Grizzly here, the Grizzly 450s. I think it actually sounds pretty decent with the quiet core in it. It's definitely a lot quieter, or much quieter. It does have a little bit of like a it sounds like somebody has an exhaust on and they're trying to block it kind of sound to it. Just kind of flappy sound, I guess you could say, in certain RPMs. But other than that, it sounds pretty good. It's still pretty throaty and everything. It's a lot quieter. So neighbors hopefully shouldn't want to kill me anymore. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So with that, make sure you guys are following us on TikTok and Instagram, and also make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and like down below. Comment down below if you guys think I should take the quiet core out or whatever you guys think I should do. Might leave it in, but let's see what you guys think. All right, so until next time, we'll see you.
Have you forgotten?